Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Control. It's a movie starring people I've never heard of and probably never will. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start with the furry, there isn't any. Moving on to the good and the bad. So, this movie is very, very low budget. In the credit sequence, even there's like the main chick, the main dude, the daughter, and the voice. That's it, really. Like that's the entirety of the named credits. So I can enjoy a good movie where it's set in mostly like one location. I know significantly different budget, but what comes to mind is Shadow in the Clouds. Yes, they had some like a sequence or two outside of it, and so they definitely had a lot bigger budget for that movie, but they also had Hit Girl in it. But I can appreciate a movie that's mostly set in one location, like Buried and Locke. There's plenty of movies that do it well. This movie's not one of them. So it's set in this room that has like soundproofing in it, and girl wakes up and she's like, "Hey, like what's going on?" And they're like, "Move the pencil, or we're gonna kill your daughter." And so she moves the pencil, and then they make it progressively harder and harder, and until the point where she has to basically use her mental powers. So she develops mental powers. And they never explain anything in this movie. It just kind of ends at some point. Um, so yeah, I would not recommend this movie because it doesn't explain enough. It doesn't give enough reason why this is happening. There is no larger thing there's no adequate reason, you know. So 2 thumbs down. To get a little bit more, I'm going to try and stay away from spoilers, but a little bit more spoilery than what I've already given you so far is, so it just gets progressively harder, and then randomly her husband shows up and is like, "Oh, what am I doing here?" And she's like, "We have to move the pencil," or actually turns out only I can move the pencil because if you move it, it breaks the rules. And so then she gets stronger and stronger, and then at some point he's like getting frustrated because why wouldn't they with 200 some odd tests, and then it reveals that like, oh, it turns out he has a drinking problem and may or may not have hit her, but like, oh, he has a drinking problem, he's a bad guy, but oh, she's with him still, and now that she has mental powers, maybe she's going to use them. But then a few minutes later, like, then he's in mortal danger and she tries to save him and is really sad when he goes. So like, is he a bad guy or is he not a bad guy? Like, you have to make your choice here or make a statement here, and you're not really being clear about what the point is that you're trying to get across. Like, is he a guy that she shouldn't have been with or is with? And they never answer that. And eventually she gets out, and then a bunch of dudes with like guns show up to be like, "Oh, hey, we gotta stop her." And so they shoot at her, the person that these tests have clearly been designed to gradually increase her mental telekinetic abilities. Shockingly, it doesn't go well for them. Like, what? Who could have predicted that? And then it like, so okay, super spoilers here. And then it gets like the Resident Evil 2, 3, whichever one that happened in, where like just a whole bunch of dead Alices that just didn't make it through the thing, and there's just like bodies of dead Alices. Turns out her husband is like a bunch of clones, and then like she's in this experiment because she's sad that she accidentally killed her daughter with her mental powers. So she's like, "Well, that makes me sad that I know that now, so I want to go back and not know that anymore." Cool. And then the movie ends, basically. There's like a little bit more, but that's essentially it. Like, what was the point of all that? There was no point, and I felt nothing for these characters, and I was confused about what you even wanted me to feel, but whatever it was, I didn't feel it. So, yeah. Skip this movie. It is definitely not worth your time. There are better movies set in like single locations. So that's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you the next one. Bye.